With tensions between the U.S. and Iran rising in recent days, additional American troops are being dispatched to the Persian Gulf amid growing fears the Iranian-backed proxies may be preparing attacks against the U.S. and its allies in the region. But is there still a chance for diplomacy between Washington and Tehran? Let's get an update now from former Pentagon official Mike Maloof. Mike, are Washington and Tehran really just, one miscalculation away from a possible military confrontation?
That's all it takes, and John Bolton is biting at the bit.
He can't wait.
He cannot wait. He's waiting for that glorious opportunity, and that's why you have a deployment there. But there are other dynamics going on behind the scenes. But there's you also have Trump saying one thing and Bolton saying another. Bolton is doing his own thing. Outwardly, it would look like a good cop, bad cop thing, but Bolton is such a fanatic about his own point of view that what I'm seeing here is him working, like going to UAE, talking to the Saudis and the UAE, basically about getting funding from the Saudis basically to the Iraqi government to allow U.S. troops to remain. And
it's kind of a back channel of money.
It's all back channel. And what I'm also seeing is the potential that the U.S. is trying to develop its own proxies that will actually be based in Iraq in order to do something against Iran. So we may have another proxy war going on here in one sense, but in effect we have Bolton and Trump doing their own thing. And what I'm concerned about is that Bolton will put Trump into a box that he won't be able to come out of.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up earlier this week, that Trump may not even be aware that Bolton is doing this.
And Trump has made it very clear he wants negotiations. Regime change is not on his table.
Right.
But you listen to Bolton. You listen to Bolton. He goes to the MEK meetings and says, "I'll see you in Tehran next year." I mean, the man is running his own foreign policy.
Right.
But it's more than that. I mean, he's going against what the President of the United States wants. And he works for the guy.
Right. I mean, that was a public appearance, so it's out there in the press.
Of course.
It's fascinating that President Trump hasn't addressed John Bolton for saying that, see you in Tehran next year. I remember seeing that, and there was no rebuke from the president, no statement from Huckabee Sanders. No, nothing came of it. Now, the Iranian president, Hassan Rouhani, said today that, quote, the road is not closed if the U.S. wants these negotiations with Iran. Let's listen.
Whenever the U.S. stops cruelty against our nation, put aside the cruel sanctions, stand up for their commitments and return to the negotiation table, which they left themselves. The road is not closed for them. The road is open.
So there you heard it from him directly, Mike.
He's saying it, but he's also establishing preconditions, pretty much what Pompeo has established as preconditions for the U.S. to enter into negotiations. It's like the U.S. is not going to give up its sanctions before they talk, and that's basically what he's saying there.
I mean, is there a chance that they will talk directly to each other and not go through these back channels?
I think eventually, but the back channel approach is really critical. Now,
is that normal?
For the Middle East, it is, yes. You have Abe, Prime Minister Abe of Japan, offering to go, and Trump has accepted that. And so and that's probably going to be in sometime June timeframe. But we're waiting now to see if anything comes of that. But you know, just as we've talked about trying to lessen tensions on the Korean Peninsula, nothing has budged there either, because we refuse to do a little bit of this and in exchange for that, things like that. But in its defense, Iran has lived up to its commitments on the JCPOA or the Iran nuclear agreement. Now they have a right to cut back a little bit. They have a right under that treaty and under other international treaties to do enrichment and things like that they've talked about. And clearly the type of enrichment they have in mind is well below what you need for weapons grade. But to listen to Pompeo and Netanyahu, they don't want them to have any enrichment because then that creates a stockpile for further enrichment to weapons grade.
Yeah, according to those two, Tehran is building up a stockpile bigger than the U.S. and Russia combined. But I mean, that's if you listen to those two.
But it's not weapons grade. I mean, and they don't really have the capability of going to that level just yet.
They're not there yet.
No, they're not there yet.
So given that there's an obvious, at least to us in the U.S., that there's a contradiction between Trump and Bolton, obviously Tehran's not stupid. They see it.
Yeah, of course.
Even if the president doesn't see it, Tehran sees it. So what kind of mixed messaging is that to them?
I think what I think is happening here is that Trump is allowing Bolton to sound hawkish, to reinforce that good guy, bad guy. I mean, you don't want me to follow this guy. Yeah, listen to me. I'm the president. So, so let's sit in the car. In fact, he has gone to his negotiating stage now in his Art of the Deal.
Here we are at the book again.
Here we are at the book. He has a thing that he follows, a syllabus that he follows in all of his transactions, from real estate days to foreign policy manipulation, and he wants to negotiate. But he has Bolton out here, his little nemesis and little devil's advocate, who is calling for greater arms. And now that works, that serves a purpose for Trump to a point. But if things get so out of hand that there's an incident somewhere, and then we have...
That's the danger, right?
That is the total danger.
Is that, Bolton perhaps doesn't know that he is a pawn in the art of the deal. Maybe, we'll see, but that's the danger, is the pawn can sometimes topple the queen.
That's correct. And this is what I'm very concerned about. And I know the Iranians are purposely trying to keep a lower profile. They haven't challenged anything going through the Straits of Hormuz. And they just need to continue doing that. We need to get that negotiation. So far, there have been no provocations, although we're seeing provocations. By increasing the military, by seeing the activity going on by seeing the activity inside of Iraq that's occurring now, where we're seeing a potential buildup of U.S. forces there, and the Iraqi government has done nothing. I mean, are we going to have that sets the stage, and it could become a self-fulfilling prophecy as a consequence, and that's what I'm concerned about.
Well, Trump's got to keep the checks on Bolton, so we will see. As always, appreciate your expertise on this. Mike Maloof.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.